Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the Lakeisha Focus Talks with Lakeisha. This is where we go from this journey of being confused and stuck to an empowering journey of becoming unstuck and definitely receiving clarity and empowerment, family, as we can thrive in the life today. I am so excited that you're here with us. And this particular episode is so amazing because we are winding down to talking about the lasting changes that we're going to be able to have when we move forward ahead in the year 2024. It's important for us to begin a process and a journey for we can thrive and we can understand to have clarity moving forward, lasting change, because we definitely need to have it. So we're going to be talking a lot about understanding how we can have lasting change and definitely how we can have strategies in order for us to win. It's important for us to be able to understand just how brilliant we are and for us to not be stuck, for us to definitely have a journey that we love to fully do. You know, it's important for us to understand to be intentional and love life today, moving forward ahead, family. So listen, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you invite a friend. Make sure you connect with someone that definitely know they need some more information on how they can thrive moving forward in order for us to continue to have lasting change. It's a rewarding experience that each and every one of us needs to have, family. And when it comes to that, you deserve it. I promise you, you do. Make sure you lean in and definitely connect with us moving forward ahead. So I have a few questions that have been granted by our amazing viewers, family, and I have the solutions for it, the answers that we're going to be able to dodge into it. So get into it, family. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like I always said, get your crayons, get your markers, get your journal, and make sure you write down those needed information that you need to have so you can remember it. And I appreciate you. Don't forget, like I said, connect with somebody that needs to hear this information, because I promise you, just like me, lasting change is needed, and we all need it moving forward ahead, family. Let's go. Let's get into it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Yes, family. I am so excited that you're here with us today. Honestly, when I began to think about this particular show today, I began to understand how it's important for all of us to begin to have lasting change. And it's important for us to begin to thrive. And unfortunately, a lot of times we don't really know how to thrive when we're aching and when we're feeling sad, because we're bringing on a lot of the patterns of our past with us. Mind you, we cope. We definitely cope, family. But, unfortunately, why do we have to cope? We cope because we don't know what else to do, and we don't know really how to thrive moving forward ahead. But you know what? These questions that have been presented to us, definitely I'm going to answer them. I'm going to give you a little bit of nuggets on how to thrive moving forward ahead so you can have a lasting change. Definitely, let's go ahead and get into it. So question number 1, how can I identify toxic patterns in my life? Real simple. This is it. This is real. I love this question. A lot of times, how you can identify toxic patterns in your life is really take an assessment of what's going on. Definitely listen to yourself. Reflect on what's happening in the scene. If you don't like what's happening, if you don't like what's going on around you, if you don't like the words that are coming out of your mouth, if you don't like the environment, because it seems pretty doom and gloom and it's not happy, begin to write it down. Write down and reflect on what's happening. If this pattern is a constant pattern that keeps happening, begin to assess it. Begin to understand it. Listen to your triggers, what's happening to you, your responses that you are leaning into. If you're responding, really, really in a bad way, like saying things that you really don't want to say, begin to write that down. I just yelled at somebody today. I just began to make somebody feel really bad about something that they really did do, and I responded incorrectly. Begin to write that down. Begin to assess that. And definitely write down what you definitely desire to do. If you desire to respond with grace, if you desire to respond in a forgiving attitude, write that down. Begin to understand that. As you take personal accountability of that moving forward, you'll begin to really open up the opportunities for you to begin to respond differently. If you need some help, that's okay. Acknowledge it. Be vulnerable about it. understanding, being vulnerable and open about whatever's happening that you don't really desire, that is starting that process of creating a lasting positive pattern for yourself. When you don't acknowledge it, when you don't lean in and actually, begin to strategize to do something different, I'm going to tell you this: when you ignore it, that's huge. When you begin to ignore whatever's happening, and just begin to say, oh no, it's going to go away. It's okay. Honestly, it's not going to go away, and it's not going to be okay. It's going to surface in something else. It's going to surface in the areas that you probably don't want it to surface in, through your family, through your friends that are connected with, through, people that you really just want to begin to resonate with. It can be your spouse. It can be, somebody that you just know. Hey, it can be yourself. When you don't lean in and acknowledge those areas in your life that you don't want to happen, those repeated patterns, it's going to surface. So when you understand it is going to surface back, it's important for you to acknowledge it. Like I said, you write it down, journal it, and begin to attack it in the way that you need to. If you don't know how to do it, it's okay to get a friend, get a connector, somebody that's not biased, somebody like maybe definitely a coach, whatever it is. Begin to have someone take another look at what's been happening to you. Remember, you've been writing this down, so you can take those writings and begin to share it with that person if you feel comfortable doing that. But if you don't feel comfortable showing someone, let's say your diary, let's just say, your journals, it's okay. Go ahead and begin to voice it to someone that you do feel confident about and trust. When you begin to open up in that way it can be attacked and it can be changed, and you can begin to receive clarity on how you can move forward. Listen, if you know someone that you connect with, honestly, they're going to show you a different way of doing things. It's a different process. Their perspective is going to be totally different than whatever you've been doing. That's going to be enlightening. That's going to be freedom for yourself. And that's going to be a strong, strong opportunity for you to begin to attack those issues in life. Hey, you're winning. The fact that you're actually able to acknowledge it, the fact that you're actually able to own up to it, taking personal accountability for it, that's when you're able to attack it and make lasting change for yourself. That's going to stick. Let me tell you what, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel really, really awesome. It's going to feel rejuvenated for yourself. It's like you're watering your plants. It's like you're watering your plants versus them drying up. The whole point is to not repeat patterns over and over again, expecting a different change in results. You already know what that is. That's insanity. It's not something that's going to change unless you attack it and begin to show it a different way of thinking, a different perspective. That's how you're able to attack it. That's how you're able to have some lasting change. And that's how you're able to move forward in life. Like I said, if you need some assistance, definitely seek out help with someone. Someone is going to be able to show you those different areas that you're going to want to be able to maneuver. That is the answer to this question. I believe this was really great, family. Thank you so much for that one. I believe this hit home. Question number 2. What steps can I take to break free from the cycle of toxic behaviors? I like this question. One thing that I would say is definitely begin to seek support for you to be able to tackle it, like a trusted friend, like someone that you definitely can rely on. A lot of times what they're saying to you is always going to be a great benefit for yourself. Begin to tackle it and begin to strategize how you can begin to build from it. Whether it's with your family, whether it's with your business, whatever it is, you can begin to attack it and begin to maneuver how it's going to be a great resource for yourself. As you begin to break those areas down and navigate what's going to be great for yourself, you're going to be in the process of breaking free. You're going to be a process of breaking free from toxic patterns, whatever it is. It could be from family. It can be from community. It can be from your church. It can be from whatever you have going on, whatever it is. By acknowledging it and begin to understand that it's unwanted behavior, that's how you're going to be able to tackle this and definitely receive clarity and assurance. One thing that I say, and I always say, understand, our emotions are real, family, good, bad, and ugly. It's important for us to be able to acknowledge those emotions that we truly don't like. When you don't like something that's happening within you, acknowledge it and begin to write those areas down, those emotions, anger, insecurity, loneliness, definitely just stress, whatever it is that's happening within you in your emotions, where it's low emotions that is reoccurring, begin to strategize and write this down. You don't want to feel this way. So begin to understand that when you begin to acknowledge it, take ownership of it, you can begin to change the process and the scope of things. It's going to be great for you. I have an example. Very, very young for myself. It was a childhood friend that I used to have, and we used to be connected with in my church. We used to always connect with each other because we really was aligned with a lot of things that we loved to do. We both loved not only the church. I was in the church choir with her, and we began to connect with songs and music. We began to connect with outside activities. We began to do some things with each other. So much so, we began to have outings in connection with each other at each other's house. I remember going to her house one day, and we began to sit and have a good conversations. And I began to realize that her language was very, very toxic. It was different. And what I mean is not toxic in so much as where she was saying bad words or cussing at me or anybody, but her responses to things were very different. I really don't like them. I really believe they're not nice people. I mean, they're just not welcome. I don't believe they're welcome, but I didn't understand the reason why she would say that. So I began to ask why. She said, "Oh, I just don't believe that they're really good people, just by just the responses that they said." Now, mind you, this person didn't have a valid reason why they didn't like them. So I began to lean back. I began to realize that she was dealing with a lot. Her mom, was really a great mom, but it was a single mom home. Her mom was actually handling everything. And that I believe that's rewarding if she's definitely taking on the charge of her daughter. But at the same time, it can be over and exhausting. It was a lot of stress going on in the house. So with that being stressed, she didn't really know how to attack her emotions. It was a lot of things in the family that she wasn't able to really receive wisdom and knowledge of because her mom was just so overexhausted. So much so to say, she was pretty broken and really hung up about some behaviors that was happening in the house. So she would lash out on others and thinking that was going to be a way for her to mitigate her problems. And she took it on and made it where that person who didn't do anything wrong and made them the corporate of those issues that she was having on the inside of her, thinking that was a problem and that it would be a win for her. When I began to realize that, I began to let her know that this is pretty much not good. That person didn't do anything wrong. And the way you're treating them and the things that you're saying to them is really not rewarding. And honestly, I'm feeling offended. Well, she didn't like what I said, but she had to understand that some of the things that she was saying about that person was not okay. She began to regroup and began to realize that, honestly, those behaviors were not a great way of moving forward in relationships with people. Because even though they were saying that to that person, they could be saying it to some other people that I don't see. So the point is to actually attack it head on, take accountability for your actions, and begin to change it up into something positive. One thing about it, she began to switch it up. She began to change things up to positive thinking. And she began to realize, you know what? I need to apologize to that person. I really need to tell them that this is not great behavior. And I began to fault them on things that they didn't do. That made me feel good. Honestly, that made me feel great that she was taking accountability for that. And honestly, our relationship began to get stronger and stronger and stronger because she began to take personal accountability for how she reacted to a person even when they weren't there. That is a great win. And that's a great way that we can always really strategize in our relationships and begin to move forward and having great ways of thinking. Now, that's just one example. That's how we're going to change the patterns of whatever is happening by taking personal accountability for it. If we need to not only apologize or forgive others that may have done something to us, or they may not have done something to us, but taking accountability for it and changing the scope of things and begin to have a lasting way of thinking and knowledge moving forward ahead. And you can begin the process of love and love something of yourself and that person, of other persons as well too. You can begin to have a reoccurring pattern that is a welcome, and you can begin to understand that that is going to be building great bridges and great processes for you moving forward ahead. So question number 2 was really, really amazing. And that was a personal intake on my life and what I had. So I hope that for you, that you're able to change everything in your life by prioritizing self-care practices and begin to nurture yourself emotionally, physically, and spiritually in your life moving forward ahead in this year, 2024, family. Whatever it is, begin to take personal accountability for your life. I love this. Question number 3. Why are healthy boundaries essential for self-care and well-being? I love this question. The great way that you can definitely begin to understand how you can make sure to have healthy boundaries and essential practices in self-care and well-being is by practicing yourself in assertiveness and communicating your boundaries effectively. It's important for you to communicate your boundaries effectively through various relationships and situations that you have. Begin to have a support crew, people around you that you trust, people around you that can actually build your mindset on thinking things differently, maybe that you didn't think on before. A lot of times you need somebody else that may have been through what you've been through, what you are going through currently right now. And that's how you can begin to change the scene. You can begin to change the way you're thinking by having more information. I always say having more information in our arsenal is how I can have a lasting way of thinking, because I can choose to take that practice and adopt it for myself. And I can begin to build a bridge in my businesses and build a bridge in my families and build a bridge in my community moving forward with this great resource of understanding how I can have healthy boundaries for myself. Practicing self-care and self-love and well-being is essential for each and every one of us. When you practice this and begin to understand just how important it is for yourself, surrounding yourself with the right people, connecting the dots by understanding how, if there's something that I really, really enjoy, keep doing it. If it's something that I don't really enjoy, begin to get more help. If you need a support team, a coach, a mentor, or a therapist, whatever you may need, it is okay to receive help from others. It is okay to begin to understand that you may not have all the information personally for yourself. Look at your environment. If you don't like how things are going, be inclined to receive help from others. Be inclined to get more information. Maybe you need to take a class. Maybe you need to get another session with somebody. Maybe you need to begin to understand how I need to take some information, that I have heard before and listen to it over and over again. If it's like a podcast like this one, if it's like, a video recording, if it's the audio or whatever it is that you have, maybe it's a word of encouragement from, a church, or maybe it's a word of encouragement from, a message that you receive from, and maybe you have a conference that you've been through. Whatever it is, take that and write it down, what was said, and begin to reintroduce it to yourself. A lot of times we have the resources and we have the information in our arsenal and we forget, because life be life, and as I say, a lot of times we need to have it in our arsenals for us to have reoccurrings for ourselves. So if you need a reoccurrence, it's okay. Make sure you have a place where you can actually begin to evaluate whatever's been given to you so you can connect those dots for yourself moving forward ahead. It's important that we are always intentional and we're always building and we're always in a place where we can actually open to hear more information for ourselves. You want to communicate this practice for yourselves, for you to build healthy boundaries for your life moving forward ahead. You deserve it. You deserve to win. You deserve to have a new outlook on life for always. And then if you deserve it, I promise you, the people around you are watching you. They deserve it as well too. So be intentional, be the leader that you are, and continue to build your bridges for yourself and understand that you deserve it and you matter. I love this question, family, and I hope it answered for you. I believe it did. Question number 4. How can self-love and self-care practices impact my journey towards personal growth? Love this question. This is great. One thing that I have learned as you begin to cultivate, self-love for yourself, and making an essential practice for yourself, like having daily affirmations, like having self-care rituals, and definitely begin to prioritize your well-being. Begin to strategize with yourself. Begin to tell yourself in the morning. I like to call it the wee morning time for yourself before anybody sees you, before anybody is connected with you. Begin to tell yourself, I'm worthy. I can do all things. I can build anything that I need to build. I can do the unstoppable. Like I said, I can do hard things. I can begin to tackle whatever tasks that I have for myself today. You deserve it. You are truly amazing. Tell yourself that each and every day, first thing in the morning, before anybody else connects with you. A lot of times in life, we have projects, we have other things that we need to do. We have to check emails. We have to actually begin to connect with other appointments. And when that happens, a lot of times we can forget ourselves and we can forget to make ourselves a priority. You deserve it. You deserve the love. You deserve always to know that you win. So when you deserve that and understand that each and every day, you will be obsessed with making sure that you continue to have self-love for yourself. You will begin to definitely understand how building those practices and actually begin to understand this self-care practice needs to be done. I need to begin to understand just how much I love myself. And you begin to wake up saying, let's go, world. You deserve to win with me. Let's go. I'm so excited about the day. And guess what? Having that practice, you will pretty much have your shield on. Nobody else can attack you. Nobody else can do anything to attack your well-being because you're coming out the gate, opening the door, and already with your light on, ready for everything moving forward. I promise you, if they're not welcomed, they won't enter because you're already ready for the world and ready for your journey. You already built yourself up moving forward ahead when you have those rituals that are going to be well for you. Self-love and self-care. Begin your walk, begin that journey out the day, get in that car, turn the ignition on, and begin to thrive. Family, I promise you, it's going to be great for yourself. Begin to understand that you deserve to win. You deserve to have these practices, and you're going to break free from the toxic patterns of the past and of the present that you're dealing with. Your processes and your journey is going to be fulfilling, honestly, and you're going to win continuously as you continue to make you a priority. Self-love, loving you, always knowing that you can do anything and you can build anything. I love this question. Question number 5. What actionable strategies can I implement to create lasting change in my life? I like this question. One thing that I would say to make sure you continue to build and create a positive personal strategy action plan for yourself and begin to take insights and learnings to understand how you continue to build. I will say, having courses, having classes that you continue to attest to. When you begin to enrich your soul and begin to invest in yourself and begin to understand how it's important for you to have those practices in place so you can continue to learn, that's how you're going to have lasting change. Always have your strategies in your arsenal. Begin to schedule these appointments. Oh yeah, I got to go to this particular conference because this conference is going to be well for me. Oh, I got to go make sure to call this person because every time I connect with these particular people, they make me feel good. So I got to make sure to put this in a strategy process. Have those processes in place. Have those strategies in place for yourself. That's how you're going to really have issues pushed away, and you're going to have nothing but love and life brought onto you. As you begin to build that way of work, as you begin to have a way of thinking of, I got to structure time for myself. First thing in the morning, I got to have my prayer call. I personally have a prayer call in the morning that I truly enjoy. I definitely personally have opportunities for me to begin to sing and dance. Have opportunities for me to begin to have go to a comedy hall. Like those things are mandatory for myself, and it's important for yourself to build whatever feels good for yourself. Make that a priority, because when you think about those different opportunities to making those a priority versus strategizing sessions of being doom and gloom and definitely saying bad things about people, because people actually strategize those different opportunities. You don't want to do that. Always strategize areas where you want to win. Always strategize opportunities for you to begin to be happy. Always strategize different places where you can definitely build. Definitely, if you want to go to a pottery course, if you want to go to a journaling course, whatever it is, if you want to go to a place where you can begin to jog and walk, having a team of people connected with you where you begin to, have those opportunities. Because, always having I'm a military person, a battle buddy. Make sure you have someone that's connected with you that you're able to lean into and you're able to do it together. You don't have to do it by yourself. You can do it with a team of people. Do it with your team. Let's just say you want to take your team out to a place where you can always do this and build together. Make sure you have those opportunities built in. Definitely having your team say, hey, this is going to be a day where we have fun day. And we may go out for food or we may go out for a coffee or whatever, but it's just going to be a strategy session where we're just doing something fun. Have those built in. Begin to build opportunities for you to begin to have those sessions for yourself. As you begin to make that a priority, as you begin to make that a ritual for yourself, honestly, you're going to be building great ways and opportunities for you to always begin to have, events for yourself, to begin to always be able to nurture yourself. You're not going to be thinking about anything heavy, anything harmful, because the great thing about it is you're building opportunities and strategies for yourself to win and always build moving forward. Always know that you can win. Always know that you can always achieve success, and always know that you deserve it, family. I promise you, you will. I really love this session today, family. I love the fact that we can always build and always connect together and always have opportunities for us to definitely neglect any toxic issues for our lives, but we can always lean in to always have lasting change that we will want it. It's important for us to begin to understand that we have the power to have lasting change. We can create anything. So with that being said, because we can create anything, create something positive, create something that's going to be embracing self-love and definitely self-support for yourself. Telling yourself that you can do anything, telling yourself that you can achieve anything. Have self-respect for yourself, have self-respect for others. As you begin to nurture yourself, and as you begin to nurture your environment, I'm telling you, it's just going to come back to you. You're going to begin to see that you're going to be saying great things. You're going to be saying, I can do great things. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am creative. I can do anything and everything for anybody. I can love somebody. I'm going to say that again. I can love somebody because I am love. Begin to tell yourself that always. I promise you, it's going to be well for you. And you're going to be able to create lasting change for yourself moving ahead. I love this episode, family, on the Confused to Focused Talks with Lakeisha. And I'm so thankful for us journeying together. Always know that you can create anything that you desire. And always know that it's important for us to understand, to have self-reflecting opportunities for ourselves so we can continue to build. You are worthy and you can do anything. Always know that. And if you feel like you can't, and if you feel like you're stuck on a situation, it is okay. You can get out of it. Always know that you can do these practices over and over again, and you can begin to always reach out, and you can begin to build a bridge for yourself, and always know that you can do anything that feels like you can accomplish. You can do anything. I promise you, you can. This has been an opportunity for us to definitely soar, family, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here with us. So you already know, I have one more thing to share with you that is going to be great for you. It's going to be an amazing, amazing opportunity for us to connect, family. It is called the Unlocking Self-Love, the Love Again Masterclass. And it's a transformative masterclass, and it's going to be an online webinar that's going to definitely think about and surface all of those issues and toxic patterns that we don't know how to thrive in. It's important for us to thrive, and it's going to be online, and it's going to be a Zoom format. And definitely it's going to be 5 weeks of us connecting the dots from each other. So mind you, it starts on April 27th and it goes to May 25th. And definitely it's going to be an amazing journey for us to connect with each other, to identify those issues that we don't like and reference them in our life to understand how we can get out of it. So week 1 is focusing on understanding those patterns. Then week 2 is breaking free from the cycles of life. And then week 4 is definitely begin to establish healthy boundaries. And of course, week 4, gaining deep and going deep as far as understanding how we can definitely embracing self-love and self-care. And week 5, which is the best week of all, and is taking action and definitely implementing the strategies that were learned for us to create lasting change. And it's important for us to begin to build that and understand how we don't have to live with those toxic patterns, but we can actually recognize it, begin to change it, and begin to be empowered, having powerful relationships and having a powerful experience in our lives moving forward ahead. So it's important for us to understand that, family. I really appreciate this, and I connect with each and every one of you. I'm just thanking God for you and just excited about this opportunity for us to connect and move the dots together. It's important for us to always know that we're not by ourselves, that we can win, and we can definitely build the bridges together. You don't have to be by yourself, and always know we can do this together, family. So you already know this particular definitely session YouTube practice is on every Thursday, and it's at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's always on YouTube and on social media platforms as well. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm just so happy for this opportunity that we have with each other, and I'm looking forward to us connecting together again. So you already know my shirt, So Rockstar, is on my website, LakeishaMosley.com. Make sure you connect with me and definitely purchase your shirt, because I promise you, you are so rockstar, each and every one of you. And I appreciate you. You already know my books are there, How to Get Unstuck, Confused to Focus, and definitely my books, Free Yourself. And definitely all my other collaboration books are on my website as well on LakeishaMosley.com. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to not subscribe to my Patreon. Make sure you subscribe to my Patreon, family. Make sure you connect with me. And I look forward to seeing you on social media. If you want to book a course class with me, if you need a clarity class, those sessions are on my website as well. I would love to connect with you, have a conversation with you, and we can always take a deep dive on whatever information that you definitely need personally need to connect with in the year 2024. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. This is such a great journey that we have each Thursday, family. And I'm looking forward to us connecting together again. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and definitely invite a friend. I promise you, somebody else is going to hear the information that's going on here. So I appreciate each and every one of you. You already know how I end the show. With all you do, lead with confidence, understanding, and love always. Be blessed, everyone. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you be great, family. I appreciate you. This time with each other is always compelling. Blessings to you guys.